Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Treek here, and today we're finding each other, telling stories, talking about mythic legends, and growing our tall tales. We will be playing a trick-taking, hand-building drafting game where players will be growing their hand of cards and playing bigger and bigger numbers. Tall Tales is for 3 to 4 players, plays in 45 minutes, it's for ages 10 and up, it's published by New Mill, and game design and art by Rand. Now it's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how it works and see you on the other side. Players will set up the game by shuffling the cards and dealing all to each player with one set in the corner here, known as the memory market for each player. In the center here is going to be the embellishment market. This is going to be made up of all the 4 suits, but in higher and higher ranks. And as you can see, in between certain numbers, maybe like the 11 and then the 14 and 15, there will be a round marker that will block getting past that card, depending on the round. Tall Tales is a trick-taking game, so say this was the start player and they played to the trick. They can play any card they want from the hand, and then the suit it is will dictate the lead suit, so this is a lasso. Then going around the table, the next player will look at their hand, and it's a must-follow game, so they would have to play a lasso card if they could. So after looking through their hand, they only have these 2 lasso cards, so they can choose which one they want to play. Let's say they play the 6. After all the players have played into the trick, players are then ranked by who played the strongest card. So you look at lead suit. So if everyone played lead suit, you'll just go down in ranking. So this is the first rank, then second rank with the 7, third with the 6, and then fourth with the 4th. So starting with the first rank, they're going to draft a card from the memory bank. Maybe they pick this 7 over here. This is going to be flipped and put off to the side, not into their hand, and this is going to be part of their hand for the next round. Then the next ranked players will go, so maybe this player will take this one, and that player will take this one, and it will all go into their hand off to the side for next round. The last ranked player, the 4, doesn't actually get to pick the last memory bank card. That will actually go out of the game forever. Instead, they pick any one of the embellishment cards to go into their hand for the next round. Then all the players will put their recently played card into the embellishment in front of them like that. With that one trick played, the leader would then just lead to the next trick, and the same thing will happen. Let's say this was a later trick, where it was led with the 3 of ropes, and these 2 bottom players didn't follow. How you would rank is you would still look at the lead suit, and the highest of the lead suit would be the strongest, so they would be ranked 1, they would be ranked 2. Then you would look at the highest offsuit, so it would be this 8, and then last rank would be the 5. If ever the offsuits are the tied ranked, it's the later one played. So that one would be 3rd, and then that one actually would be 4th. After drafting, if the loser of the trick were to take one of these and reveal a second round, that would remain there and not be removed until the second round started. So no one can take any more axe suits until the second round. If in a much later round, maybe round 3, this gets drawn, and you're already in that round, you can just move that card. At the end of round 2, players are going to count up all the ranks in their hand, so this would be 59, and they would divide it by 2. And you do not round, so this player would get 29.5. At the end of round 4, you just sum up your whole hand without dividing by 2, and your full game score would be your round 4 plus your round 2 scores, and whoever has the most score wins. All right, Tall Tales. Well, before we get into these impressions here, please know that New Mill and Rand are pals, and so please take that into account. But I do want to first off say, like we started off in the intro, talking about the theme of this, some people have talked in the past that trick-taking games don't have too much theme, but it was nice that throughout the rulebook, all the mechanisms have meaning to the theme. So it says, when you were the lowest ranked in the trick, your part of the story was forgotten and not very interesting, so you had to go change it up, discard the card out of the game, and go get an embellishment. And then when other players, the top ranked players, start taking cards from the memory bank, those were parts of the story that stuck. I love how that was tied to the card art in the game that grows and grows to these familiar stories. I like that mechanism not just for the theme, but also because it makes high and low cards good. Oftentimes you're wondering which card do you want in a given round. Maybe you're about to score, so you want a high card, but you know that high card isn't going to let you get some good cards in the next round. So sometimes you have to pay attention to the round, pay attention to what other players are grabbing, and also making sure to time your hand for those scoring rounds, which are very important in the game. I like that the card market opens up more and more as you play. In the first round, you only can get those 2 cards. off the tops of each of the 4 suits, but as you keep going, it gets deeper and deeper, and by the time you're in the 3rd and 4th round, players' hands and what they brought into the game, what they chose to bring into the game through the suits, feels pretty different. On the possible negative side of the game, there is some math. You will be counting 2 rounds of your entire hand, and that could be up to 60, 70. So just be aware that there is some math in the scoring. You will be counting and dividing a little bit of your total in your hand. Also, everyone's hand is hidden trackable. So if you play with some players who try to remember all the cards that were played and what was drafted, and really try to memorize everything, which I have in the past, that can get a little bit much. It's definitely part of the game if you don't count cards too much to pay attention to which suits people get and which numbers people grab. But overall, that is something to be aware of, that sometimes, since it is just perfectly open information on card draft, some players will track that a bit much in the game. But with all that being said, if you like trick-taking and drafting games especially, where you can cultivate your hand for each subsequent round, I think you're definitely going to like this game. Well, I've been the Game Boy Treek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games by helping you find the next one you'll love.